Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here because we're going to unpack a truly wild piece of human history. As focused learners, I know you guys love getting straight to the point, and that is exactly what we're going to do. We're going way, way back to explore a 30,000-year-old mystery about human behavior and, well, survival. Have you ever wondered how early humans kept order before formal justice systems even existed? The answer reveals something literally profound about our biology. So, let's jump right in.
Okay, I want you to picture this. Imagine you're sitting around a crackling campfire exactly 30,000 years ago. The air is freezing, it's pitch black out, and your small hunting party has just gotten back. You've brought enough food for the whole group to survive the next couple of days. Huge relief, right? But by nightfall, you notice something's off. Some of that hard-earned food has mysteriously vanished. And the worst part? This isn't the first time it's happened. Everyone kind of exchanges these tense glances, and everyone silently suspects the exact same guy. It's the one who's always starting arguments, the guy nobody really trusts.
Okay, let's dive into this because this whole scenario raises the ultimate mystery. What actually happened to the worst person in the tribe? How did early humans deal with bad actors, liars, thieves, constant troublemakers, when they had absolutely zero formal institutions? Like, if there's a serial problem maker in your tiny community, how do you handle that threat to your survival? It's like a giant puzzle that goes right to the core of how human societies first learned to function. Section 1. The Prehistoric Crime. To really get this, we kind of have to strip away everything we know about modern justice. Think about what a big, fat zero represents for the folks sitting around that campfire. They had exactly zero police to call, zero courts to put this food thief on trial, and zero prisons to lock him up in. The whole modern setup we rely on today, completely non-existent. So without any of that, what actually happened? Well, the answer is way stranger and, honestly, maybe way more effective than you'd think. Section 2. The Currency of Trust. To figure out how these small tribes functioned without a single cop, we have to realize that the true currency back then was reputation. For almost all of human history, your survival depended entirely on the group. You literally could not go it alone. Just think about it. A broken leg, a bad infection from a simple scrape, or just a streak of bad luck on a hunt. Without backup, those were instant death sentences. So in these tight-knit tribes where everybody knew everybody, your reputation was absolutely crucial. It mattered more than pretty much anything else. And this brilliantly illustrates the dynamic that naturally emerged. If you were generous and reliable, awesome, you were a trusted asset. People wanted to work with you and they'd share their food if your hunt failed. But on the flip side, if you were a thief or just a constant drain on resources, you weren't met with handcuffs, you were met with complete social rejection. The ultimate punishment wasn't physical restraint, it was the total withdrawal of support. Let's break down exactly how this nonviolent freeze-out happened, because it's actually pretty chilling. It was a step-by-step erosion. Step 1, people just stopped trusting you. That benefit of the doubt, gone. Step 2, people stopped sharing. If food is scarce, you are absolutely the last one getting any. And step 3, people stopped depending on you altogether. No more hunting invites, no say in group decisions. It wasn't some violent uprising. It was a slow, quiet, devastating process where you basically became a ghost in your own home. Section 3. The Anatomy of Rejection. Now, to really grasp how heavy this was, we actually need to look at modern neuroscience, specifically evolutionary shame. You know that hot, awful flush of embarrassment or that sinking feeling when you mess up in front of your friends? Researchers think those aren't just random feelings. They're ancient biological alarms. When you do something that risks getting you rejected, your brain sounds this emotional alarm, literally screaming at you to fix your behavior before you get cast out. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is what we see when we compare physical pain and social rejection. When scientists put people in MRI machines and simulate them being socially excluded, the scans show that rejection lights up the exact same brain regions that process physical pain. Your brain literally, and I mean literally, registers being left out as a physical injury. It hurts on a biological level. So it boils down to this. Your brain treats exclusion as a real imminent threat. And why does it do that? Well, back at that prehistoric campfire, losing your group support wasn't just awkward or embarrassing like it might be today, it was incredibly, unbelievably dangerous. Your brain triggers this massive pain response because it's desperately trying to warn you that your actual survival is on the line. Section 4. The Ultimate Punishment. So we know tribes use this painful social rejection. But what if someone just ignored the alarm bells? Now, before we hit the worst-case scenario, it is super important to note that these groups strongly preferred repair. They didn't want to lose people. When conflicts popped up, they'd discuss the arguments, offer some kind of compensation, and try to restore cooperation. The whole focus was on unity, not just punishing people for the sake of it. But, well, some people just wouldn't change. Some folks ignored the shame, kept stealing, kept creating chaos. For those extreme cases, when all attempts at repair completely failed, the tribe was forced to take drastic measures. The final result? Isolation. Or worse, permanent exile. We really need to understand what exile meant back then. To us today, getting exiled might just sound like being forced to move to a new city. No big deal, right? But thousands of years ago, the cost was absolute. You lost your protection from predators, you lost shared resources like fire, you lost the elders' knowledge, you lost your friends. Being separated didn't just mean a fresh start. It meant losing your entire survival network in one fell swoop.
So the absolute worst punishment wasn't physical violence, it was the empty seat by the campfire. Imagine the terrifying sensory isolation of walking up to your group and all the chatter just completely stops. It's that crushing realization that everyone else belongs, except you. The ultimate penalty was losing your place within humanity itself. Which leaves us with this final, kind of profound question. For almost all of history, humans survived by sticking together. It's how we made it. So, if our ancestors' survival depended entirely on the group, is being alone still the most dangerous thing in the world for us today? We might have courts and police now, but psychologically, our brains are still sitting around that ancient campfire. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, guys. I hope this deep dive leaves you seeing human connection in a completely new light.